Hello, folks. This is Bob Safale, and I'm very, very glad you're out here to listen to our webinar tonight. We're very, very excited. I actually have some very, I mean, several huge pieces of breaking news regarding the industry, and I'm going to be really focusing on those pieces of news because they definitely align with what I've been talking about for the last few weeks. But before I get started, to make sure y'all can hear me clearly, go ahead and if you see that little hand in the upper right hand side, or just click on that if you can hear me clearly. Go ahead and click on that little hand so I can see that you can hear me. Just click on it back and forth. Yep, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, great. So we do have an awful lot of people still rushing in. Try to get here in the future right on the dot, because I'm now starting to include a lot of big news uh, right right from the giddy up. As a reminder, we have these webinars every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Now, I am going to do in the last week of April. You will have a blank piece of time for me because I'm going to be on a ship, I do believe, in the last week of April. So I will do an extra webinar the week after that, because I want to keep you guys, uh, really on point on what's happening, because there's a lot of changes happening right now. I've told you there's going to be an acceleration of changes in the crypto world. There's also an acceleration on things happening with digital frontier marketing and CloudCoin. So for 1 week, we will miss our Thursday night. I will be somewhere on the water, on a boat. So I won't be able to do the webinar that week. So uh, just as a reminder also, we really try to focus on breaking news and new technology. That's kind of the focus of where what we do here, because there's a lot of new technology coming out, and gosh knows there's a lot of breaking news. That's for sure. The first thing, and I started talking about this today, and I posted it today. Huge news came out regarding Bitcoin, and you all saw a huge spike in their currency value over the last 24 hours. In fact, it jumped up 17% in the last 24 hours. Now, the article I've just put up on the screen here actually talks about one of the factors behind this very big jump. And it's quite interesting. It has to do with the massive profits that people were making on Bitcoin and many other currencies, by the way, that were following on the same trend line. Now, you had people who had, bought in on Bitcoin earlier in 2017 at $1,000 and $1,500 and $2,000. And as you all may know, I don't know the exact price on December 31st of Bitcoin, but it certainly was up near its high of $20,000. And what does that mean? Well, that means if somebody bought it $2,000 and on the 31st of December it was $20,000, pull out your little handy dandy calculator and you're going to find out they had a $18,000 profit. Yeah, they made a lot of money. And as and everybody here, I hope if you're busy buying coins and receiving coins, you have an accountant so you actually can know what you have to do. Now, what occurred is you had a lot of people make not tens of millions of dollars, not hundreds of millions of dollars, but in the aggregate, the total profit in the crypto world was billions of dollars. Now, why is that significant? Well, because tax day is next on Monday. And there's a whole lot of people who are sending in their returns with a check. And a lot of people didn't have, I mean, if they had $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and they realized an $8,000 profit and they were in a tax bracket that required them paying Uncle Sam $3,000, well, guess what they had to do? Well, some would take the money right out of their bank, right out of their checking or savings account. But some people had to liquidate some of their Bitcoin. And since Bitcoin had dropped significantly, some people may have had to sold off all their Bitcoin just to pay the taxes on the profit that they made in 2017. Now, remember this formula when you're talking about any market that involves, whether it's the stock market, whether it's commodities, gold, silver, doesn't matter, cryptocurrencies. Here's the simple formula. When more people are selling XYZ item than buying XYZ item, when there's more people putting a sign out to sell something than there are people trying to find something to buy, what happens with the price? That's right, the price goes down. So for the last few weeks, in fact, the last 6 weeks, a lot of people were having to confront the fact that they were going to have to pay taxes on their Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. They were going to have to pay taxes on it. And so they were busy selling off a lot of their currencies. So in the last 6 to 8 weeks, there's been a tremendous amount of buying or selling pressure, which then results in what? If you have more people selling than buying, the price goes down. Well, it's now the 12th of April. You got one more day. Now, a lot of people have now sold off their coins. Whatever they're going to sell to generate money to pay their taxes, they pretty much started finishing off by yesterday. So guess what happened? That's right. There's far less people selling now. So what happened to the price of Bitcoin? It went up. In the last 24 hours, it went from $6,766 to $8,112. It went up $1,400. And this has been virtually universal across all currencies. Okay? All right, let me show you. Here's CoinRank. Look at that. Bitcoin up 12.9% now. A little sell-off today. Ethereum up 14%. Ripple up 20%. Bitcoin Cash 10%. Litecoin 10%. On and on and on. Cardano 26%. You see this? That's right. So it appears that this significant sell-off in order to get money to pay for taxes could have had a big impression. Look at that. Bitcoin just now, it's about to break 8,000 again. It's at 7,995 now. Okay? Now, let me just give you a little cautionary tale here. Remember, I keep on telling you that the big money changers, the guys like Goldman Sachs, all right, they're still in accumulation mode. Because remember, Goldman Sachs trading desks lights up in the middle of summer. So that's when they go super live. They're already live, but when they go super live, it's going to be in the middle of summer. So be prepared to see some negative. I don't know how many more negative stories they can throw at us in terms of Bitcoin and other currencies. They've tried everything. And they've been quite successful scaring the bejesus out of millions of people. who have sold off their coins at a loss. But, you know, the bad news is almost done. You know, I don't know what they could dream up next. But I'm just saying, in the next 3 to 4 days, don't be shocked if there isn't some manufactured, price manipulative story that you start hearing about. You know, that may not even help anymore because there's so much buying pressure that's been let off now because people got enough money to pay their taxes. There might be so much buying pressure that's been taken off that it may, and I'm going to say capital M, capital A, capital Y, may, underscored, exclamation point, we may be in a new slow growth wave. And, you know, for cryptocurrency, slow growth is like 5% a day, but, you know, don't hold me to that. That's more of a joke anyway. But we may now be starting to do another run up, a gradual, because it's possible the story manipulation will not be able to kill off this news. Okay. Now, here's the second piece of news. This is a big issue. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So that little news that I just was showing you here was a investment firm that's called Venrock. Now, what's Venrock? Well, I'm sure you heard about a little family that's been around, you know, been around for a while. It's screwing things up everywhere, named the Rockefellers. Okay. Thank God one of them is finally croaked, David Rockefeller. Couldn't be happier to that. But Venrock, nonetheless, is the venture capital arm of the Rockefeller family. And what was just announced a couple days ago? That's right. Venrock, surprise, surprise, is now putting a lot of money into crypto. Now, once again, I keep on telling you, if you start seeing players like this accumulating coins and accumulating currencies, you know, Venrock, Goldman Sachs, I mean, on and on and on. Circle. Remember they started a venture fund. Coinbase has started a venture fund. I remember venture funds, the primary investors in venture funds are very, very wealthy, high net individuals. And as I mentioned last week, you know, if you had a small stadium, maybe 3,000-4,000 people, and filled that up with the guys who invest, you know, take 2,000 or 3,000 guys who are the big high net worth individuals who invest in venture funds, you probably have 80% of all investors in that one room with 2,000 or 3,000 people. So these guys know each other. They trade information back and forth. The real collusion, by the way. So they know what's happening. So if you see venture funds sprouting up that are filled with money from well-heeled individuals, they know what's happening. You understand? That's why I'm telling you, they're in accumulation mode. They're trying to get as much of the currencies as they can before the pressure that is building for another buying cycle happens. And based on the news I'm about to show you, the pressure is right around the corner. So here we are. Venrock is now putting money into cryptocurrencies. This is very important. Okay, here's your next piece of news. Get better. Look at this. Headline: the world is cracking down on Bitcoin except Japan. Now, Japan is all in on crypto. They are all in. Followed not too far behind by South Korea. All right. Followed not too far behind by other countries, but Japan's all in. Now, Japan has a lot of money, folks. Now, why do I say that? Their markets have been flat for years. But they still have a ton of very, very rich people, very rich people. And their government is all in on crypto, all in. So why is that important? Because they just are now finishing up a regulatory round that has cleaned out some of the last few exchanges that were kind of shady exchanges. Okay, they're all getting almost cleaned out now. Because hey, listen, there were in the cowboy world of cryptocurrency. Let's face it, there were a lot of exchanges out there that were operating in a pretty shady manner, if not completely in a criminal manner. So a lot of those exchanges are getting cleaned out. Okay, so Japan is all in on crypto, and what has resulted from that? And this next piece of news is absolutely vital for you to fully understand. Here we go. Ready? Look at that headline. Japan could have more than 3 million crypto traders. Let me read that again. Japan could have more than 3 million crypto traders. Okay, so remember the formula. When more people are buying than selling a particular item, price goes up. So what's happening is whether the cryptocurrency detractors want to confront this or not, or want to understand this or not, you had 17 to 20 million people drive this industry up to hundreds of billions of dollars. And the numbers keep on growing. So it's not a matter of if, it's not a matter of, hey, can this whole industry go away? It ain't going away. It's growing too fast. There's too much money in it. The guys who own and put the money in the big banks like Goldman Sachs and Venrock, they threw up the white flag. You don't even know they've already surrendered. They gave up. They couldn't stop this train. That's why they're getting on board. So this is extremely important for every one of you guys to understand. This is not a fad. It's building and building and building. It ain't going away. It's like I remember back in the early 90s, I remember people talking, this internet thing, this email thing. I don't think, who's going to send an email? There were tens of millions of people just absolutely cocksure that the internet was just, kind of like a kind of curioso, you know what I mean? They just thought, it's going to be pretty interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. Well, it's here, isn't it? Right? These funny things called social networks. They're kind of interesting in 90, 91, 92. What's this thing called MySpace and Friendster? Well, we've seen what happened on that, don't we? So that's the same thing with these currencies, these cryptocurrencies, because the simple fact is more and more and more people are getting connected online. And don't forget the billions upon billions of people who are unbanked. That means they can't get a bank account. They're sitting there in the middle of the desert somewhere in Africa, and it's not like there's a Bank of America sitting there nearby. Well, they want to get into this global economy. Well, what they do have is a lot of, out of 100 people sitting in the South Saharan desert, out of 100 people, there's about 15 people have a cell phone now. That's how they're going to bank, folks. They're going to bank using smartphones. It's not like you can insert some $100 bill and send it from your cell phone to somebody else's cell phone. It ain't going to happen that way. It's going to happen because of what? Digital currencies. That's how it's going to happen. So I just want to make this point absolutely crystal clear, just in case anybody's getting concerned about what's happening. This industry is growing too fast for it to stop. Too big. Okay. So my major topic tonight that I wanted to go over involves 3 major ways that people who have been doing well in this crypto space, how they're doing well. I want to share with you what are those 3. There are 3 big components to this. One component is made up of experts. These are initial people who got involved with the crypto world years ago. And they are very, very, very smart about this currency world. So people who are getting in, like myself, in the last year, what's the first thing we did? Well, we went out there and found experts that had YouTube channels that we could get data from. So the first tool that we use is knowledge generated and disseminated by other experts. Now here we got this beautiful thing called YouTube and the internet. And there are some really good experts, and all they do is eat, sleep, and drink the internet. Now, this is one person that I listen to. His name it goes by the name Crypto Bud. And you can find him at Crypto Bud, YouTube. In fact, if you go to Digital Frontier News, I posted him today on the upper left-hand corner under Newsmakers. So if you want to find out his YouTube channel, you can go there. Crypto Bud was a former Wall Street analyst. The guys that are the smartest people in Wall Street that actually know things are the analysts, because what they do is they do deep dives and learn all about the stocks that they talk about, or the companies they're talking about, or the commodities. These are the pros that do all of the due diligence and research. Well, Crypto Bud was an analyst on Wall Street in a major investment bank. So what he's done is he's been applying all of this knowledge about how you investigate companies and really find out what's true or not. And he shares that knowledge. So the first thing you should do is you find 1 or 2 or 3 of these guys or gals, and that's one of your knowledge pools. Because at the end of the day, the way that you are going to be successful is knowledge. That's just the way it is, particularly in an industry that's growing so fast, and changing so fast, like the cryptocurrency world. So your first thing you got to do is you got to find folks that are really, really smart, have already kind of gone through the bumps and bruises. They come out the other end and they got knowledge. So that's step 1. What's step 2? More information, but not information from vested interests. Listen, if you think you're going to go onto CNN or Fox or NBC or Associated Press or Reuters or any of these outfits that claim they're the media, they're not going to give you an unvarnished, unbiased flow of information regarding anything that they don't have a vested interest in. Okay? So one of the great developments in kind of the world of the internet and for information is the birth of crowd-sourced knowledge. These are sites that people can go to and post information. Bloggers that can post information. And most of these people, many of them don't have a big vested interest other than serving their subscribers. That's their vested interest. So one of the best tools out there, bar none, for knowledge is Steemit. STEEMIT.com. So you want to go to Steemit.com, and on the left-hand side, you're going to see cryptocurrency. That's one of the, I mean, this site has tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of very smart bloggers. Very good, really smart guys. Okay? So, and these guys and gals do tons of research, and they write great articles. And in this case with Steemit, they even get compensated based on the value, perceived value of their articles that they post. So they have a vested interest in making not some advertiser happy or, you know, some trade association happy. They only get benefit when they put out valuable information that helps their subscribers or their readers. And then in sites like Steemit, they get compensated based on, you know, what kind of value. So this is a fantastic source of data. Absolutely fantastic. What's the third thing? Real-time information. Real-time data. Because you want to get background knowledge from people like Crypto Bud. Then you want to get closer to present time knowledge from sites like Steemit. And then you want to get real-time, right now information from sites like CoinRanking, coinranking.com. Now, once again, what's the common denominator on all three of these things? Information. That's your common denominator. And that, my friends, is absolutely the secret behind being successful in a brand spanking new world that's growing really fast, that you are still, you understand that you guys are still in the first 1% of the world population in developing worlds, in developing nations. You're still in the 1% of the first people that are involved with this huge industry. I want you to take a look here at CoinRank. Do you see Bitcoin's market cap, meaning the total value of their coins out there, is $134 billion. Ethereum is $49 billion. Ripple, $24 billion. Bitcoin Cash, $12 billion. Litecoin, $7.2 billion. EOS, 6.8. This market is ginormous. And it's changing hourly. So if you want to be successful in this marketplace, you got to get data. You got to get information. You're not going to find one super slick tool that's going to solve all your problems necessarily, unless that tool is filled with knowledge. And I do know of one of those, by the way. I'm not going to talk about that tool tonight. But if that tool, whatever it is connected to all this knowledge and then could cook all that knowledge down into decision making based on artificial intelligence, well, that could work. But most tools don't have that because it costs way too much money to have all these tens of thousands of data points coming in to make a decision. So the average person, the average developer of tools does not have that access to that stuff. So unless you have a rare company that does, forget about it. You're not going to find it. So what you really need to do is, and by the way, you don't even have to put more than a couple hours a week, maybe even an hour a week, to be able to suck down enough knowledge to be pretty effective. Then, of course, if you get involved with DEAR, the Digital Experts Report, I'm doing all that work and I'm cooking it down into minutes, but that's a whole nother story. We won't get into that. Okay. So I hope that really makes sense. It's all about knowledge. Get to know guys like Crypto Bud. Okay? He has a YouTube site. Go to Steemit, STEEMIT.com. Go to the cryptocurrency section. Do a little reading. Use sites like coinranking.com to give you instant looks at how currencies are doing. Instant looks. Because that's what this does. Instant. All right. Now, I want to give some more news on what's happening with Celebrium and our patent pending digital collectibles. So, first of all, we have a new informational site that people can access when they email me. It's called Celebrity, How It Works. And this really gets into the key aspects of how our system is going to work here. It has, you can read about how you collect, how easy it's going to be. It's going to be really, really, really easy to be able to choose your celebrity, go to his or her profile, listen to a little story about the collectible, select your and when you purchase your collectible, that collectible is automatically going to appear in your vault. Now, we're using the term vault because we don't want this to get confused with cryptocurrencies. It's kind of like the same thing. It's just called a vault instead of a wallet. But when we fully launch, when you buy a collectible in one motion, when you buy, you're going to get your collectible, the digital collectible. It's going to be put in your wallet, and you're given your wallet. Okay. Then once you have this bad boy in your wallet, there's a bunch of things you could do. You could display it. You could share your collection link to anybody. We're going to have a little collection link so you could show people your collection of collectibles. You're going to be able to display your collectible. We're calling it a memo, short for memorabilia. And I think we trademarked that too, memo. So you're going to be able to display your memos, your memorabilia, your collectible on your social media. And you'll be able to print your memo or your memorabilia and hang it in your home office or your home or whatever. And last but not least, you're going to be able to trade or sell your memos very easily. Very, very, very easily. Because on the Celebrium site, there's going to be something called the trading post. And that is going to be something that's accessible anywhere in the world, right on the Celebrium site. And we'll be promoting the heck out of the trading post, because that's where people can go to find memos or collectibles that are sold out. Because remember, when we launch a collectible from a given celebrity, we are limiting the number of collectibles. Limited. 5,000, maybe. Remember, with baseball cards, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions. And yet, you'll see baseball cards from the 80s that are now going for $100 to $200 to $300. Baseball cards. And I'm not talking from super famous people either. Okay? All right? So once a collectible has been sold out, the only way a person can get access to one of these is if one of the people wants to sell one or more of their collectibles, and they could put it up on the trading post. And then they could put a price on it. And just watch how that's going to start moving those price points up. So if you've got access to, say, 50 collectibles of a given celebrity, and you got them at $10 a piece, and all of a sudden you see the price after they've been sold out, you start seeing that price start winging its way up to $20, $30, $40. Hey, sell off some guys and gals, okay? Because I'm just remind you, here's how this works. We are using what's called the concentric circle mode of launching each and every collectible from here on out. So yeah, we're going to have just a few different collectibles that are part of the upcoming launch. We may only start with 3 celebrities with 3 collectibles, but we have 3 right behind that to bring it to 6 quickly. And we have people after that. But every new collectible will be launched in the same way. Initially, remember, because a collectible, the most valuable ones are the earliest ones, or at least that's what we think. And that's been kind of the rule of thumb in the collectible world. Whatever's earliest is more valuable. Doesn't mean the later ones are not going to be valuable. It just means the earliest ones are the most valuable. So every time we launch a collectible, we start with a small group, a small exclusive group. And we give them 72 hours to buy in. Then it grows bigger. We extend out to a little larger group. We let everybody of those guys know for 72 hours. And then there's going to be a little larger group that are notified about the collectibles. And then a larger group. So here is the notification path, and I'm going to leave out one very important group. I'm going to leave out one group. So the second smallest group that are going to be notified about the collectibles are, and that's all, from now forward, are the people who originally bought collectibles. So whoever's bought collectibles before will be the first ones, or actually the second ones, who are notified about any new collectible, who have the opportunity to buy the earliest. Then the next biggest group will be individuals who are LLC owners, who are owners in Digital Frontier Marketing. So if you're listening to this and you made the wise choice of becoming an investor in Digital Frontier Marketing, you are going to be the third smallest group notified. Then the fourth smallest group notified are going to be anybody who have bought cloud coins. Okay, that's the fourth group. Then a little larger group are going to be all the folks that have registered and are subscribers. And then, and only then, does the celebrity notify their millions of followers. So you see how that works? So I can tell you the first 5 groups, I believe, are going to be pretty happy. Because if the collectible gets retired, meaning it hits the threshold, that's it. We limit them to 5,000. Then when all of a sudden the celebrity promotes the collectible and they all run to the site and it's retired. Now, what we'll probably do, to tell you the truth, is as soon as we get to maybe 80% sold, if they're selling that fast, we will stop at 80% if we haven't yet had the celebrity promote it to their fan base, because it wouldn't be fair if we sold them out. So we'll probably only sell about 80% and stop, and then let the celebrity notify all their fans. But man, it's going to be like the California Gold Rush when all those fans come rushing to see the collectible. Listen, one of the people who I just saw what she wants to use is I'm still not going to tell you the name yet, but I saw what she wants to use. Oh, what a great collectible. This one gal has 6, excuse me, just trying to count them up. I don't have the exact number in front of me. It may be almost 3 million fans. And her husband is huge. She's huge. Her husband's huge. So we're going to sell those babies out once they notify their fans. And then The only way you can get a hold of these collectibles, of course, is you got to go to the trading post to see if they're up there. If they're not up there, you can't get a hold of them. So there's going to be a lot of people checking. Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, what's the first group that's going to get access first? Who's that? Well, we're going to have a special VIP club, the Celebrium VIP Club. And this is going to be mostly collectors, that are serious folks. And there's going to be an annual fee to be in the VIP club. Now, the VIP club, they're going to see every collectible first. But for you guys who are buying the collectibles now, anybody who's buying the collectibles now will be issued a free, no-cost VIP club membership. And the membership is for a year. So when we do our launch, the membership is going to go. I'm not going to tell you the price of that membership, but there's going to be plenty of people who are going to want to be in the VIP because they're going to be the first guys and gals that get access to buying any collectible in the future, the VIP club. So if you want to get a free 1-year membership, you got to buy collectibles now. The Celebrium, go to Celebrium. And here you go. CELEBRIUM.com. If you get any amount of collectibles, you're going to get a free 1-year membership into the VIP club. Free, no cost. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, I just want you to think about this. When we have a big celebrity who offered their first collectible, I want to give you an idea about this. When you have a celebrity who did their first collectible, okay, and they sell out, and the celebrity's made a whole lot of money. Let me ask you a quick question. Let's just be real here. When I talk to that celebrity's agent and say, hey, would you like to do another collectible? How fast are they going to say yes? It won't be a half a second. Oh, yeah, sure. Definitely. So once this thing gets rolling, and let me explain somebody I talked to today. I talked to a major player of the Major League Baseball Players Association, MLB Players Association. That's who I was talking with today. Major League Baseball Players Association. Those are the guys that negotiate the contracts with the owners. How many Major League Baseball players do you think they represent? Thousands and thousands and thousands. And they are now sending me people that they want to have baseball players to be in our program. They are excited about this thing. I could tell you that I believe in the first group, we're going to have a Hall of Fame baseball player who was the first one who ever did something. They're the first one. So we're real excited. So if you're a VIP, if you're in the VIP group, the elite VIP group, you are going to get first look. First look. The first group that gets 72 hours to play in every collectible. We will notify the VIPs. Okay, such and such is going to be offering their collectible. Boom, you can get access to them. Give you 72 hours to buy up. Hell, you buy one, who cares? 2, 3, who cares? But you're going to get the first ones. Okay. So if you're interested in getting a free VIP membership, because these ain't going to be cheap, let me tell you that. They are not going to be cheap. Get in there and get your Celebrium collectibles. And by the way, we are now over 50. Remember, in this pre-launch, we're only selling 10,000 of these things, the blanks, right? Because what you're doing now, you're buying a blank collectible that when we open up and launch the site, you can then take in. And remember, you guys who are buying these collectibles first right now, you're the first guys and gals that go in there, right? You're the first ones. You're the first ones that can go and trade your blanks for the collectibles. And we've had people buying hundreds of collectibles now. We had one fellow who just, literally several hundred in the last 24 hours. Really good guy too. Really good guy. So, anyway, I hope you're all excited about this. So if you purchase any number of Celebrium collectibles at the collector level, you'll get a free VIP membership. And that's how that works. So you go to Celebrium.com. Okay, let's do our famous drawing. And we got a lot of people. We have many more people tonight than we had last week. So let's go ahead and do it. Get my little site up here. I better type it right here. Oh, there we go. Random.org. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this drawing. Boom. Number 216. Number 216. The person who is number 216 is going to be getting 10,000 cloud coins. Now, I'm running a little late. Sorry about that. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's briefing. There's a lot of brand new news coming in. That's what I'm mainly here to do. The first part of our briefing is always giving you news of the last, 7 days and even last 24 hours. I hope it's good. And next week's topic definitely will blow you away. I think I did a good job this week. I hope it did in giving you information on how you can be successful in this cryptocurrency world. So thank you very much for attending tonight. Thank you much.